Hi, I'm Dr. Kurt Woeller. We're all exposed to chemicals, and chemicals are a natural part of our world anymore with the modern homes and the technology that we have. And so in many respects, we can't escape chemical exposure 100%. We do know that for many kids on the autism spectrum, they tend to be very chemically sensitive. Their detoxification pathways are poor. Many times their biochemistry is being upset because of nutritional deficiencies or yeast or bacterial overgrowth, digestive imbalances. All of that can put a strain on their body. And so anytime that there's a chemical exposure, some kids, not all, but some kids can react adversely, whether it's self-stimulatory behavior, or irritability, agitation, poor sleep, poor behaviors, etc., if they've had some type of acute chemical exposure. Now, there's all kinds of different tests that you can do for chemicals. Some are easy, some aren't. Not necessarily all of them are affordable either, or even really necessary. If you take the approach of just trying to improve your lifestyle factors as far as exposures, you can do a lot to decrease chemical exposures, particularly in your home. For example, using biodegradable, non-scented laundry detergent. Instead of using the conventional laundry detergents, you can actually now get laundry detergent that is non-scented, biodegradable, and is more natural than some of the more synthetically derived forms. Same thing with water. Okay, using purified water, filtered water, again, is another way of reducing chemical exposure. Using organic food, hormone-free, antibiotic-free meats, again, as a way to decrease overall chemical exposure. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to avoid things 100%. I mean, depending on where you live, if you're in a city, obviously there's going to be smog. If you're in the country, there could be farming, so the thing's going to be sprayed. You're going to have some exposure on a daily basis. One of the things that can help if your child has been exposed to chemicals or you're concerned about it is simply doing Epsom salt baths. Now, Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. The magnesium is a relaxing element, mineral for the body. The sulfate actually helps to support detoxification. Sulfur chemistry in the body is critical for the maintenance of connective tissue, but it's also critical for the way our body helps to release and get rid of toxins. So Epsom salt baths have been a great way to support detoxification. Normally what I recommend for people is if they've had acute exposure that they know of, whether it's somebody spraying in their yard or some type of exposure that they've gotten exposed to out in the neighborhood or out in the town, then they can tend to do Epsom salt baths every day for a week to 10 days. For most kids, just as a maintenance, I like to see Epsom salt baths being implemented 3 to 4 times per week. If your child's never done an Epsom salt bath, I always recommend starting off slow, which means basically using a little bit of low amount at first, because some kids' skin tends to be more sensitive than others, and it can be a bit salty. So if your child has sensitive skin and you don't know how they'll react, even just starting with half a cup in their bath water as a trial in the beginning can be helpful. And then from there, just try to increase it on average for most kids, between 2 to 3 cups per bath, 3 to 4 times per week. Certainly some kids can do it more. It's not going to be harmful to do it more, but on average, you're looking about 3 to 4 times per week. Now, as we head into summer, or in the summer months, the warmer months, depending on where you live, a lot of kids like to swim, and I definitely encourage swimming and outdoor activity. You get exposed to chlorine. One of the things that can be done too is when your child is done swimming, put them in an Epsom salt bath. If you don't have access to a bath, then what you can also use is Epsom salt cream. New Beginnings carries Epsom salt cream, and you can rub just a desired amount. It could be a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons, depending on the size of your child, and rub it on their skin, the forearms, their arms, their thighs, their back, their abdomen, after swimming. And it can even be done, a couple times a day. So it's another way of supplementing for magnesium sulfate. So again, a couple remedies would be the Epsom salt baths and or the Epsom salt cream. Thanks.